Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode on 539. So today we are returning to Wright Cemetery here outside of Ashley, Indiana, and it looks like we've already had some changes. There is a small little plastic chain going in the middle of the road now, so it looks like they're no longer wanting people to park inside the cemetery, but to park outside next to the road. So let's go ahead and get out. Well, we already had a truck do a U-turn. I think it's the same truck. We'll see here as we close the door here. I'm not sure. I think that was a different one. So you can see now they actually have installed a white chain. I believe it is removable if you were to want to come in, but they may be trying to discourage people from driving in the historic section just because it's somewhat thin and pretty much any car could make it through, but you know, if you weren't being careful you could potentially do some damage here. So we missed a lot of the center section here, so I figured we'd come and check and see what else we could find here. It's kind of interesting. Way over in that field, right there is a gigantic tower. It almost looks like it has like a camera on top of it. I might have to walk over since it is in the cemetery property. It's either a flagpole that's not being utilized right now for whatever reason, or it is like a, I don't know, surveillance camera. Weird. So some of this may be new. I'm not 100% sure. Most of this stuff over here is pretty historic, and I'm not sure all what we're gonna find. You see that here, a Wilson of Ella and Donald Wilson, Ella of 1913 to 1989, excuse me, and Donald of 1910 to 1994. You can kind of tell that I've been reading a lot of 1800s graves, because now I just seem to start automatically saying 18. And something right here, and I would say it was its own stone, and it looks like it has fallen down. Is this it? Okay, no, these are more shingles here from the roof of the little chapel or whatever it is next to the entryway here. Very strange. I think we had, well, not really strange, I suppose. There's a lot missing if you go down the row. And kind of hard to tell how historic some of this is. Let's see, we have 1904 to 1904. And this might be something new here. Fairly new. Yeah, but yeah, there's a lot missing here at the entryway. It might have been erosion. This hill might have come further in antiquity, and you can almost tell, at least from here in person, that it seems like a good chunk of this hill is missing right here. Like something has happened over the years, a large rain, something to cause some significant erosion. So I'm guessing some stuff that's here has been lost. And arriving here at the Perkins section. Ellen here, 1869 to 1931, and it's like Judd of 1864 to 1950. It does say father and mother, and I don't see any. It could be that they're born, or excuse me, buried next to them here. I don't think that's it there, but maybe this right here. And then there's just something missing here. Yeah, you can see Earl E. Perkins, 1886 to 1904. So I'm wondering if they had more than one child, and unfortunately the memorial has been buried. And this one actually has a full color photo. I think that might have been, no, probably that would have been, okay, so it was in the 1980s, so see, Avon Sowell of 1909 to 1980, excuse me. And we are at the Knott family section here. Marcus of the 155th Indiana Infantry of 1848 to 1918, and Alley, 1852 to 1932. And we can see that they have their own individual markers next to it. Marcus is right there, and then Alley right on the other side. And then this is completely different here. This is Lydia Reed, 1856 to 1930. And this one actually has been placed, I'm not sure if maybe it had the orientation changed to sort of protect itself from any further erosion damage on this hill here. It is George Strauss, 1815 to 1893. I apologize. I've been reading a lot of gravestones today, so I've been very busy, and if I get some wrong, my apologies. Carol B. Wren, 1873 to 1897. A lot of Wrens here, and there Willis of 1886 to 1972, Ellen, 1849 to 1902. And here's where we saw some of our damage last time. Looks like, fortunately for this place, there was no new damage since we've been gone, so that's good to see. We've had quite a few storms recently that could have really brought down a lot more in this place. There's so many large trees here, and evidence of aging, rotting. Yeah, so you can see that something like this could easily have happened again, but luckily everything seems to be intact since the last time, but no new work has been done to remove that particular tree. And that is definitely the truck doing its rounds again. I think it's just going back home. That may have been either the second or third time that it's gone by. We'll see here. I'm not assuming that there's any issues. There's a interesting name of Temple. Mary Temple, 1851 to 1928. And then next to her is George of 1842 to 1921, and a veteran, probably Civil War veteran there, that survived the war and went on to live for many, many years. And then we have, this is interesting here, it says Mabel, wife of E.J. Zool, 1881 to 1902, and a very, very small walled off section here Only a room enough for one grave, and I'm not seeing E.J. Zool anywhere. Unless E.J. perhaps was remarried at some point. I'm not seeing anything in the direct vicinity that says Zool. Let's walk up and see maybe what this is. A very large sectioned off part here. It doesn't look like it's one big family section. It does not appear to be. I see Metts, Perkins, lots of Perkins. I see a Prey. So it might be the Perkins family section that just is includes a very large extended family, including the Metzes here, Emmanuel of 1837 to 1907. Okay. It looked like it said 37 or 87, excuse me. And then Ava of 1843 to 1910. And behind, some newer stuff. We have a Perkins, an antiquity of Grace Perkins of 1881 to 1974, and Clyde of 1876 to 1968 there. And this is another Metz. Really hard to see here. On the sides, though, they do have some more information. Shatora, 1871. Looks like only aged 15 days. Let's see what, it looks like maybe that's the only thing written on it. Yeah, it does appear that way. We have to go around here. There is a newer burial here. So we have Clara Prey of 1875 to 1940 and Edward Prey of 1868 to 1943. It looks like they even added some more Perkins in. Actually, you can see that this whole row coming down is slightly outside of this section here. So maybe this is more the Metz or the Prey section, or let's see what this particular one is here. Looks like George Lavengood of 1837 to 1904. And a veteran. It's interesting. There's now someone parked, but it looks like they're parking to visit the newer section. All right, let's go ahead and walk down the road here and do a loop around and take a look at this tree section, the couple of tree sections here with these evergreens that are behind here. Looks like it's really starting to surround, and then directly here next to this family section, it looks like it is moving a few things, but not too bad a damage anyway. So far, they're just kind of hanging out. I don't know if they're waiting on me to leave so that they can come in here or what, but There's plenty of room to get past my car. Looks like Jada, 1869 to 1960. That's another Perkins there. Mary of 1874 to 1963. Okay, maybe just a visitor. And another large Perkins stone here. And we have Russell, 1903 to 1934. And Dale here, who was partially covered, but now has been kind of cut free. It looks like at some point you can see that they've done some work on the tree and cut a few different branches out. And that is 1900 to 1902 there. Unfortunately, though, there has been some level of damage here. Some sort of mystery stone here. Can't really get a read off of it. It does look like there's an initial there. It looks like it says M, or it might be W. And no sight of any inscription on that side, so I'm going to go ahead and guess it's on the other side, perhaps. It could be a section marker. It's very large for one, though, so I'm not 100% sure on that. And then the Haywards here, Gerald, son of W.C. and M. Hayward, 1905 to 1908. And you see the parents here, William C., 1876 to 1952, and M.A. Nerva, 1878 to 1935. And coming up here, you can get a little bit clearer of a view of this little tiny sectioned off area, which is kind of really interesting, kind of creative. I like it. And then directly behind, you have some Masonic members here, the Hillers, Virginia, 1915 to 1995, and Norris, 1916 1984. You'll see that the Order of the Eastern Star, as well as the traditional standard Masonic compass symbology, and the bells, Ida Bell, 1873 to 1941, and John H. Bell, 1865 to 1953. And difficult to read what this says. I will again try and get a little bit better read at the command center. The sun is so bright, though, that I can barely see, and unfortunately it's hard to read it on the screen as well. Looks like we have Charlene Carey of 1875 to 1875 to 1959, and 1874 to 1935 for Charles here. And let's see if we can get to the other side of this little decorative evergreen area here. You can see it has quite a few weeds and vines and things growing up it as well. Oh, yeah, we definitely have something here. It's not definitely lost, you know, but difficult to read again. This bush is very prickly, even for an evergreen. It's very interesting. I did see them get out of their car one time, walk around, and it looks like they got back in. So, can't really tell. On the other side here, it does not look like there is anything here. So that's good news so far. Although, I'm going to carefully scan here. Okay. I guess that everything's good here. Oh, no, my bad. They are actually going to visit, so anyway. So yeah, it seems like sometimes you find stuff, sometimes you don't. Sometimes they do a really good job of clearing areas like that out, and sometimes they don't. So it's unfortunate when they don't, but as you can see, a lot of times they are working to make places like this better, and so I always try to give them the benefit of the doubt in terms of, let's give it a little bit of time and see what happens at the very least.